Hey audio people from around the world, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com, and today I'd like to show you how you can use an EQ to reveal your track's greatness that's already there, hidden, locked up inside your track. Okay, so you recorded something, or maybe it was given to you, and it's not perfect, and you're trying to mix it, and you want it to sound better. And typically when we think about making things sound better, we think about, what do I need to add? What do I need to do to make this sound better? We think of it in additive forms. Add this sound, add this effect, add this compression, add this processing, add this saturation, and it will enhance. When the first thing you want to do is think about, what can I take away? What can I remove that's getting in the way? Okay, this sounds very philosophical, but it's very, very simple. You've got way too much junk in your tracks, and not only is it nasty and you want to get rid of it, but once you do, it's a twofold process. It's a double whammy, double bang for your buck. If you use EQ to remove the nastiness in your tracks, then you have no more nastiness, or at least less of it, number one. And number two, you will finally be able to hear the track's good qualities. You will be able to reveal or unlock or expose the excellent parts about your track, the part that you really want the audience to hear in the mix. Anyway, so subtractive EQ, using EQ to take away nastiness, gets you double bang for your buck, and it's the simplest thing that you could be doing right now, and it's just a change, a mental change in how you approach a track, and this is really, really going to help you. I was working on a track recently that already sounds pretty good, so this is subtle, but again, EQ and mixing is subtle. I want you to hear how on a lead vocal and on an acoustic guitar, just cutting out a couple of frequencies help reveal what was probably the best part of those tracks when they were recorded. I didn't get to record these tracks, but I'm sure when the engineer tracked them, he was hearing really good stuff, and there's a couple of frequencies that are just covering up the good stuff, and once we remove them, they're gone, and we can finally hear and see, sonically speaking, the good stuff in the track. So here's a part of a song, and I'm going to zero it out to just the vocal first and then the acoustic.
Beneath the sun we fly on different parts of earth. In the end we'll both lie under 6 feet of dirt.
All right, here's the track we're focusing on first. Lead vocal. Took off the verb, took off the delay. Ignore the tape saturation and the de-essing because that's kind of processing that's going through it. I want you to focus on what EQ does to this track. Where the EQ was flat and some of the problems with it, and then when it took away just 2 frequencies, how that makes a difference, okay? Here's the vocal by itself.
Beneath the sun we fly.
After it's been processed, okay? It sounds clean, sounds great. But over here on my channel strip, if I bypass the EQ section, so everything else is the same, I'm just bypassing this EQ portion here, so there's no EQ, flat. Take a listen to the same vocal and see if you don't notice some weirdness.
Beneath the sun we fly on different parts of earth. In the end we'll both lie under 6 feet of dirt.
Little bits of room noise. You can almost hear sort of the room sound in her microphone. It could have been a corner, could have been slapped back on a wall. There's some weird frequency buildup that's mixing in with her vocal in the microphone. And you notice it on certain valves more than others, and it's really subtle. But when I was mixing this, I'm not that smart of a person, and I'm not sitting there saying, oh, I can hear 300 hertz, or I can hear whatever. No, all I noticed was that even though the vocal sounded great, there was something wrong with it. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Just something felt off. So maybe if you get those feelings like, this guitar is cool, but something feels off. What is that feeling? It's probably weird frequencies that you need to carve out. Okay, so there's 2 frequencies on here that I carved out, and I'm going to boost them for you so you can hear what they are at extreme, so you can hear what I was sweeping around for, and then I took them out, and then we'll hear the difference. The first is, let me bring the EQ back in. I was looking down low around 740. I found something nasty. Take a listen.
Beneath the sun we fly on different parts of Earth.
Nastiness. Okay, now everything boosted extreme sounds weird, but as I swept through, that sounded boxy, closed off, and I was starting to notice that buildup in the room was around 740. So once I found that at extreme boost, I said, let's get rid of some of that. So I just took out 3 dB. That's a good step one. Try it in a -3. If it's not enough, you can go to -6. The other frequency was up here around 1.7 K. Okay, take a listen to this.
Beneath the sun we fly on different parts of Earth.
Sorry to do that to you. It really hurts my ears, makes my face want to bleed, like out my face. That's something else that I was hearing that was wrong. I couldn't tell what it was, but there was something sharp about her voice, something that just pierced a little too much. And you go, that's too bad because it's a great vocal, great performance. Is there something in there that was probably a combination of the room and the microphone and her voice? It's just unavoidable almost. So you find it, and then you dial it back a bit. We'll take that out by 3 dB. So in essence, I've just taken out 2 frequencies, and I've taken them each out by only 3 dB, which I view as one sonic notch. It's an obvious notch, but it's not really extreme. A very, very simple move. And of course, I've got a high-pass filter. I'm rolling up to 100, but that's not going to change the tone. That's just going to roll off any low rumbling. That was all my EQ in her voice, and it takes it from this.
Beneath the sun we fly on.
To this.
Beneath the sun we fly on different parts of Earth.
Before.
In the end we'll both lie
After.
under 6 feet of dirt.
It's cleaner, it's more natural sounding. It's subtle, but it works. Because her vocal already sounded good, and by taking out those 2 problem frequencies, that woofy low stuff or the weird boxy stuff at 740 and that piercing stuff at 1.7 K in this case, by taking those out, not only are our ears grateful because the nastiness is gone, but now we hear more of and more clearly the good parts of her vocal. Nice tone, nice resonance, cool breathiness, very, very cool vibe that was already there. Okay, here's another example on the guitar. All right, here is the guitar natural. So, guitar sounds fine, it has that folky vibe, but again, something was off. I tend to go look in a couple ranges. I was looking down low mid to see if there was any boxiness down there. In this case, I found 290. Let's take a listen to what that sounds like. It's kind of got that constant ring nastiness. Yep, found that, took that out by 3 dB. Okay. And then the other frequency was up top. It seemed like it was like chink, chink, chink. I don't really know if that's a technical term. I'll do it again. Chink, chink, chink. Something just cheap sounding about the strumming. And I couldn't get rid of it entirely. And if I really wanted to spend more time, I probably could have found a couple of other frequencies where some of the strumming just sounded cheap. Could have been the pick, could have been the strings, just could have been the microphone. But it's got that natural vibe. But there's something up there that was just not quite right. And this is what it sounded like. I'd call that the Radio Shack microphone sound. I'm not saying that this was recorded with a Radio Shack mic, but I used to record with Radio Shack mics back in the day when I was in high school and I didn't have anything else, and that's what Radio Shack's mics sounded like. All right, so I took that out by about 3 dB as well. Cleaned it up a lot, so we go from before to after. All right, so I'm going to go back and forth, watch the bypass button down here. I'll zoom in and you watch the bypass button and hear the before and after, hear the difference. Very subtle, yes, but you are revealing the good part about the track. You're not changing the track. We're not changing the tone. If you're trying to just change the tone of the tracks you got, you're just wasting your time. I'm sorry to say that. If you got something and it just doesn't sound good, that's what you got. You got something that doesn't sound good. Mute the thing or re-record it or just give up. I mean, there's not much you can do. EQ is not a transformative tool, even though it can be used for that, for an effect. But generally speaking, it's doing things like this. It's revealing the good stuff that's there. So you got to go find the stuff that's covering up. The stuff that's getting in the way of what you really want to hear. And so you're not going to change the guitar here. I'm not going to change her vocal. The guitar has that sort of like folky natural vibe. It's just kind of cutting through and the string buzz. Her vocal has that natural breathiness and intimate and not perfect everything. But it's so cool. I just want to get rid of the stuff that's covering up the cool. And you do that with simple subtractive EQ. So again, like I said at the beginning, change your philosophy in mixing from an additive one, what can I add to make this sound better, to a subtractive one, what can I take away that's covering up the beauty in this track. Whatever the track is, whatever the genre is, whatever the vibe is, there's probably something that's covering it up, and your job is to get it out of the way so we can hear the real song. Hope that helps. Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com. Hey, do me two favors. One, leave a comment below this video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if that changes your thought process a bit, or if you've already been thinking this way, if that's been helping you in your mixes. And two, subscribe to the videos if you're living on YouTube land. Please click the button, subscribe to the YouTube videos. And if you really want more content, even more in-depth stuff, and more often, go over to the site, therecordingrevolution.com, and subscribe there to the newsletter, the mailing list. Why? Because you get free video tutorials, ebook, bonus content straight to your inbox that I don't post anywhere else. It's awesome. It'll help you, and it's free. All right, that's all I got to say. I got stuff to do. Go make great music this week. We'll talk to you soon.